Season 50, War number 12. We've matched up here against Old Driver. The bands are Corvus, Crossbones, Null, Maestro, and Angela. And I'm going to be joining with Onslaught, Chee'ilth, and Vox. And this war will determine if we can finish our first Masters placement ever, and my first Masters placement ever. I've never placed Masters before, and neither has the alliance I'm currently in, so if we win this, we make it. If we lose it, it's a very disappointing end to our season because we came so close. But I can only do my part in the war, so I'm going to play as well as I can, and we're going to boost pretty big on the path fights, and then absolutely max for my mini-bosses, and just give it my best shot to help us get to our first Masters victory. So we're starting on Path 7 against this Overseer, and I'm using Chee'ilth, which I've never taken Chee'ilth to war before. She's rank 5 unascended. I ranked her up at the beginning of the season, and then some part of the season she was on defense, and then some part of the season she just, I just didn't get her assigned. I don't really know why, but either way, we're finally getting to use her. And I'm just looking for just try to get that last hit to trigger my clarity. And now that I have, the fight's basically locked down, which I have no idea why I didn't just throw an SP1, because then the crisis would have been averted, and we could have just gotten combo that way, because he can't auto block or evade special attacks. So that would have just been the easy way out, but I made it more complicated on myself. But that's okay. It's just I forgot about it in the moment, and also again first war using Chee'ilth, so. My brain was a bit more focused on her kit than clarity itself. So basically all you need to do with Chee'ilth is spam SP1s a lot and do a bunch of medium attacks for bleeds. And that's kind of the simple way to play her. She's not a very complicated champion. There are instances where you want to use heavy attacks, but in war I don't really try to do that. So we're gonna be taking this Absorbing Man with Onslaught next. This is Onslaught's only fight. We decided that this would be the best counter on my roster to this fight, which is fine because Onslaught is Onslaught, so he's just going to absolutely wreck this guy. We just need to manage Absorbing Man's forms correctly, and then we're going to be chilling. He obviously has high MD, so he's going to be throwing his special attacks a lot more often if I block them. If I dex them, but that's okay. Basically, at this point, I just need to get to my SP2. I'm gonna throw the relic right into the SP2, and except I'm not for some reason, because that would have been the smart thing to do, because now I'm throwing the SP2 into his magma form, which means it's going to do a lot less damage, but at least it doesn't hinder the damage of the degens, so we just kind of need to get to an SP1, just press the special button, he dies because of the Daunted, so I made it a little bit harder on myself, kind of just like I did against the Overseer, but it's alright. Solo's a solo. So, next up, we're going to be fighting Mr. Fantastic on node 19. Basically a path splitting placement. Obviously, Reed doesn't have very good defensive capabilities this meta, especially when I'm using a character like Chee'ilth, so we kind of just get clarity up, and then the fight's over. She's going to be cleansing like any debuffs that we get on us, because we're going to have a lot of them. I think at one point I'm going to like run out of cleanse and I might get a couple debuffs, but that's okay. Because we have just the cleanse to be able to remove the weakness when I throw a special attack, and then the cleanse to remove his debuffs from the SP1, which, you know, in a way we kind of want to have those just because they're willpower and they don't really hurt us. I guess the taunt kind of reduces my attack a bit, but either way, he's about dead already. And I'm not even running deep wounds because I don't own the mastery, but if I was running deep wounds, like, this fight would be done even faster. So yeah, that's gonna be my third path fight, and then my last path fight this war is going to be against Shuri on node 28, and then we'll start getting into the mini bosses. So I'm taking this fight with Vox. I've been taking Vox against buffet nodes all season. However, I do think this is the hardest Vox versus buffet matchup I've done before, just because I have no idea why. It just did not go my way. This is going to be a very scary fight, and you're going to see why. I've sped it up a lot, just because it's a very long process. As you can see, she's still at full health. She's going to be at full health for a long time. We're trying our best to ramp up our buffs but Buffet just makes that kind of difficult, and now I'm losing health because I messed up her SP1 a couple times. Also, I take damage when a corrupted buff gets nullified, so I need to time Buffet with my dex buffs, because that will make it to where I do not take damage because it's not a corrupted buff getting nullified. So there, I got all my corrupted buffs nullified when I went to lock in my degens back into intensifies. Luckily, the self-damage Vox inflicts only happens one at a time, so I wasn't ever going to like instantly die by getting 20 buffs nullified or anything, but we're still worried about time because we're like 2.5 minutes in and she was at basically full health. Now my degens are ticking. Unfortunately, I trigger her miss and I don't have my vigilance ready, so now I'm like, oh, that's awesome, man. So just die, please, man. And then I think I kill her with basics right here. So that fight lasted almost 3 minutes, and I was having a bit of a heart attack. I was playing that fight in a walk-in refrigerator at my work, so it wasn't the best playing environment either, but we got the job done, so it's okay. Alright, now we're going to the mini-bosses, and here we're going to start against Iron Man Infinity War on node 42. So this is a really easy fight for Vox, I'm going to be honest. I just need to get some parries to ramp up my clarity with 100% safety, and then, yeah, he's dead. Like, from here, he's just dead. I'm gonna have clarity for the rest of the fight, and I just need to build up a bunch of buffs so I know I can kill him in one cycle of degens, and then that's gonna be it. So, I'm gonna trigger an extra dex on his heavy attack. I do want to ramp up a bunch of dex buffs if I can help it, because those are the ones that I actually have to work to get instead of just getting by hitting him. And again, I do want as many degens as possible for my first degeneration cycle, just to be able to kill him in one cycle before the final 15% phase where he has power gain can possibly be an issue. So we're gonna go for the SP2 here with 5 less than what the max could have been, so 25 degens. I'll definitely take it. Now I need to play aggressive to gain some Furies, increase the potency of those degens, because Vox increases the potency of his degens when he, like with the attack rating bonuses he has currently, rather than when he actually activated them. So, very weird mechanic that his kit has, but it just means play aggressive, profit. So, I'll take it, and we did kill him in one degen cycle like I was hoping for. So, next up is a fight that I think the fight I was most worried about this war. That's going to be against Arcade on node 44. I am forced to use a Power Start 1 here. The reason for that is because Arcade will gain his Arcade tokens when I prevent a poison due to immunity, so I need to get the Undermine up as fast as possible, because I don't want to hit him during the Incinerate phase, because I get incinerated, but if I hit him during the Poison phase, then he's going to get Arcade tokens really fast, and possibly fast enough that I could get auto-blocked before I could get Clarity active. So it was a low chance of that kind of thing happening, but it was a risk that I wanted to avoid, so we're going to full dex his SP1 here, stay out of his cloud, which I don't necessarily need to because I'm poison immune, but also staying out of the cloud prevents Arcade token gain, and he gains armor from Arcade tokens, so it does mean I have a little bit more damage if I don't sit in there. Let's see, he is going to gain a bunch of tokens anyway, just because I'm passing through the cloud and such, but again, we don't have to worry about the actual poison part. So at this point, we're just going to try to full dex it again. There I was early, which is a bit of a shame, but that's okay. We still got a bunch of dex buffs, meaning we're going to have a lot more degens, and now we're in the poison phase. I'm going to drop my degen cycle, and then I want to, again, play aggressive like usual. I have Cosmic Power back to active, so I gain a bunch of power back from the SP2. He throws his SP2, and the degens are just going to kill him before I touch him again. So, just like that, we only have one fight left in my season, and if I solo this one, I will have a 1-death season, which is the best season I've ever had. I've never came this close to a deathless season before, and obviously I won't have it because they gave a death in War 9, but this is going to be the best season I've ever had if I can finish this fight with a solo. So here we go. Against Peni Parker, I need to power start 1 for this fight because I need to at least have 1 degeneration ticking on my first degen cycle, or my first SP1, because that's going to give me the Undermine to not worry about clarity for a little bit, and it's also going to give me power to get another special attack when I need be. But I am going to mess up here, and I threw the SP1, which is going to lock a degen back on me as an Intensify, rather than letting it fall off, meaning I can't actually place any more degens for the rest of the fight. So I had a mild heart attack in the middle of this because, okay, I can't place degens anymore, so I have to 5-hit combo this Peni Parker to death, which isn't necessarily difficult because I have clarity, but also it's still scary because I have so much less damage. Vox still hits pretty hard on basics just because of all of his Furies, Cruelties, Precision, stuff like that, but it's not nearly as hard as I'd like to hit. So here I just need to play it safe, and hopefully she's gonna die before I do. Clarity is not a problem here because like every hit we gain 2 charges almost. It's just about finishing the fight and not dying to brute force or eating an SP2 or just something stupid. Also, actually, if I eat an SP2, it wouldn't be the end of the world because I physically cannot give her any more Spider Sense charges unless she throws an SP1. So, if I keep her from throwing an SP1, which I have been so far, if I get hit by an SP2, it really won't hurt me that much. So, yeah, she's dead. And that's it. That's my 1 death season. And we locked in Masters off of a win off of time, which we've never had this season before. We haven't won off time at all this season. And I remember exactly this morning, I slept in really late. I slept until like 10 o'clock. And I woke up, we had 10 fights left. The opponents had finished the map. And I looked at the score. We had 12 defender kills, they had 11, but we were up on time by about 1,000 seconds. So I'm like, okay, we can give 1 death. We just can't give 2 deaths. If we give 2 deaths, it's over. If we give 1, we win on tiebreaker. And so the entire morning, over the course of like 2 hours, I was map watching and stressing over everything that was happening. And we got it. We only gave 1 death over those last 10. Some guys really clutched it up at the end. I'm really proud of them. And we locked in our first ever Masters victory. And also my first ever Masters victory. So I am absolutely ecstatic with how the season ended. We've had so many highs and very little lows this season, for me at least. And I'm very glad that it's come to a close the way it has. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching these war videos and enjoyed being along for the ride with me during this war season. And I'll make a community post about the end results and stats and my final season rewards probably tomorrow or Thursday. So, or actually no, it'll be either today or tomorrow, which will be Thursday as of the time you guys see this video. I'm screwing up the dates. You get the point. You'll see it soon. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.